Very cool. We're live. Welcome to the stream. If you're here, we're the Explorer's Guide to Everything. We play D&D and do D&D like stuff. It's Saturday night, so that means we're playing Call of the Netherdeep. If you were here last week, you may have bore witness to the first tragedy of the campaign. And without any further ado, we will begin right where we left off. With a significant amount of the city of Ankarel in chaos. Creatures born of a magic never seen before, rising out of a crevice that appeared at the same time as a full ruidous moon, destroying a sacred and beautiful festival that celebrates the martial arts and the Storm Lord, god of martial arts and freedom in the sea and of storms. Interrupted as Aloysia's plans were successfully enacted, with the crowd surging away from the Colosseum. Rengoku lies motionless on the ground. His friends are gone, and there is nothing but panic that surrounds him. Rengoku, for a moment you're unaware. You know that you fall. You know that before you fall, you plant both of your feet, and you listen to the words of your father who told you to hold your position as he went to save those who were innocent. You remember your friends, one at a time, nodding to you as they ran for their lives. You remember being knocked to a knee and using your sword to get back up. And you remember a crystalline, massive foot of an artificial elephant made of the very same ruidium, the same curse that flows through your body. And then everything goes dark, but not a darkness that you can recognize. For how can anyone who exists understand nothing? Everything you've ever known is something. If you close your eyes in the dark, you are still there in the dark. You see darkness. Maybe you can't make out anything in it, but even in the darkest places, there is something. And for a moment, there's absolutely nothing. And then you sit up. You sit up, Rengoku, and you look around, and you don't hear the screams of the crowd or the sounds of the serpent maws hissing or the thump and thunder of hammer strikes into the ground. You don't hear anything. You don't feel any breeze on your skin or smell any blood on the ground. And it's as if everyone moving around you is moving slowly. Not like slow motion, but if they were running, it would be like they're walking quickly. You take stock of your surroundings and you look behind you, and you see your own broken body lying on the ground. When you, shocked of course, stand up and move back, you leave no footprints, and when you look at your hands, they are not scarred, nor do they contain the darkened red color that was born of the pact you made with the Queen of Air and Darkness. They are the same bright red that they were when you first started your adventure, when you left your home. Your armor replaced with the same travel set of leather and bamboo mixed together to make up what the fighters of your island wear when they travel themselves. Roll me a perception check with advantage.
Perception. That's going to be a 21.
You do hear something. Feathers on the wind, a light beating of wings, rhythmic and steady. You look up towards the sky, and for a moment, even in whatever form this is, you still are blinded by the bright red moon. And in the silhouette of the ruinous moon, full now, in the middle of the sky, you see a massive raven, the biggest bird you've ever seen. And with a graceful and silent landing, it takes its feet right in front of you. And as it stands full, it becomes less of a raven and more of a human figure, tall, with a coat of black feathers. You can't see the arms or legs underneath, and a hood over top of their head with darkness covering their face. The raven and this individual are one and the same, and you can tell that it would take just a moment for them to jump into the air and be gone. It stands there, and you feel it perceiving you. Not looking necessarily, but perceiving. Doesn't move. Roll me an insight check.
$23.
There's no malevolence here, nor is there benevolence. It is simply perceiving you. But you do feel a distinct wanting, as if it's asking you to come with him. Do you respond?
I stare at this raven being thing and kind of quietly mumble, "Is this my time to go?"
It turns its head, more bird-like than humanoid in the way that it ponders you. And with a swift motion of its left leg, a linen cloth-like boot, you could say, wrapped around its foot, it kicks up a cloud of dust, interacting with the world in a way that you cannot. When the dust hits the moonlight, it forms a doorway. and extends its arm, feathers outstretched from the jacket as if a massive wing is asking you to go through.
I don't know if I'm quite ready yet. I don't know if my friends are safe. But I take a step forward.
You take a step forward and feel a strange sense of peace. With the other arm, this being outstretches it towards you, and you feel a sense of comfort. You hear in your mind, in a whisper on a cold wind, in a harmony that is ethereal and terrifying and beautiful. None of us get to choose when we stay or when we go. But those of us who are blessed can make the choice of where the next chapter leads. If you wish to stay here, I have no power to stop you. But if you choose to come with me, I can offer you at least one final choice.
What's that choice?
It's not for me to know until we walk through together.
I would think like a single tear comes down, even if it's like my mind making it up, and I'm not able to really cry, but a single what feels like a tear. And I look back all around me, trying to see if I can catch a glimpse of any of my friends, even though I know they're gone. And I say, okay, and I pause and let out a sigh and say, okay, let's go.
As if encompassing you quite literally underneath its wing, it lightly gestures you with the first thing you felt physically since you stood up. Just feathers and pressure on the top of your back. A steady pressure, like you would give someone who was afraid to jump into a lake. And as you step into this doorway, you feel yourself take not flight, but experience a weightlessness. The creature now is a raven again, but glowing, almost like it exists and doesn't at the same time. Eyes a deep cerulean blue and green. It asks you, without words, to grab onto it between the wings and allow it to fly you to the next place.
I grab on.
You experience emotions and sensations along with memories in no linear order and rapid succession as you fly through time and space itself. Your life not flashing before your eyes, but playing all around you in a tunnel in 360 degrees. And in some of them, you even experience it as another person. You are your little brother when you get frustrated with him and he yells at you, and you remember he still loves you. You are your mother when she experiences the terror of telling you that she is not going to survive this illness. You are yourself when you smell roses for the first time in the spring. You are yourself again when you fall in love as a little boy, realizing that that's what life means. and you land. Your feet are dropped in an endless pool of water that is just a few inches deep, reflecting an endless night sky above. And you see in the distance a cloud of dark tendrils with red accents. You hear the same voice from this creature, the raven, in your mind. I won't allow her to speak with you if you don't want her to. But she wanted to say some things to you before we move on. As always, here with me, the choices are yours.
Who wants to speak with me?
The Queen of Air and Darkness. Queen of the Unseelie Court of the Feywilds. She cannot hurt you here.
I'll listen.
Familiar figure, beautiful and imposing, stands before you glowing with red and black energies, a ruidium ring around her finger on her left hand. And unusual for her, at least in your experience, she smiles at you warmly. You served me as well as you could, Rengok. Thank you.
I return her smile with a warm smile. And I nod my head and I say I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve as well as do my best.
I'm not sure if you remember, but when we first met, I told you that my court is home to all of those who have been forgotten or deemed too ugly, different, rambunctious, or rude for the world. I have seats at my table for goblins and bugbears. And there's a seat now for a tiefling, if you'd like to take it. I can offer you a seat at the table for a feast of endless twilight. You will be part of my court, but you will be expected to do nothing but exist there until such time as another opportunity may present itself. Or you could go with the Raven, who is going to, I assume, take you to the fires of Avernus, where your bloodline originates, where you will serve as a high-ranking official for one of the kings of the Hells. With that, the raven flaps its wings and she disappears. She talks too much. But she does not lie. You see in the pool at your feet two images. One of what would look like a bonfire party full of goblins and kobolds just having a great time in an endless twilight. And in the other, you see glory and honor fighting in the endless blood wars in Avernus, the part of the hells that started the bloodline of all tieflings. And the raven speaks to you one last time in your mind. I'm going to leave you now. You can choose yourself, or you can turn around and walk away, but if you return to the material plane, your spirit will be vulnerable, and your interactions with the world will be limited, if possible at all. Most times I am instructed by my queen to simply retrieve the essence and take it to the Shadowfell. I'm glad that after a millennia, I don't have to do that tonight. And it flies away. Rengoku, you have 3 choices before you. You can retire your spirit to the Unseelie Court. You can begin life anew as a high-ranking official in the armies of the Hells. Or you can turn around and deny both and return to the material plane, albeit as a spirit. What is Rengoku thinking right now?
I feel very conflicted, taking in the options. Although the Unseelie Court I pledged myself to, I feel a bit of duty towards. However, I know if I go there, I'll most likely never see my brother or any of my family again. But if I go back to the land of the living, and although be a spirit, I could at least watch over my friends. And even if they know that I'm not there, I could still be by them. Because with them, I actually felt family and safety for the first time. But I step towards the portal or the space of the hells. And I step into it.
You fall. You feel a pleasant yet unbearable heat. You watch as your body is outfitted with infernal armor. And before you land, you see down below you already your battalion, one knee, each of them, waiting for you to land and give them their first orders. And that's where we leave Rengoku for now.
You died, but that's kind of dope.
We move on.
Under the real adventure, right?
Get stomped by an dude. Get stomped by an elephant. Become a fucking general of Hell's army.
Good old tiefling bloodlines, right?
Great job. Fucking great job.
There is panic in the streets of Ankarel, stemming from the Bowl of Judgment down through the streets all the way up to the Cerulean Palace. There are thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, both spectators and residents and festival goers alike, running for their lives. Everyone in the party had chosen a different direction to exit. As Farron left, she was able to perceive the grunted yet pained efforts of a man exerting strength beyond all reason, fighting a magic that she could feel, but barely understand. Farron, as the ruinous moon takes its full form in the middle of the night sky, your eyes turn a blood red, deep.
Bruh.
Your mouth goes dry. Your hearing becomes a pinpoint accuracy. You can hear the specific screams of specific people. All you have to do is try. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw as the power of the ruinous moon starts to infiltrate your mind as a pallid elf.
A 9. Off to a great start, guys.
You experience a rage that you have not felt since you were unleashed during a ruinous full moon in wartime. A lust to see death and blood, and to watch the light extinguish from the eyes of your enemies as you squeeze their throat. You still fight the crowd, trying to get towards where the obelisk is, where the pained sounds of an individual struggling are. And instead of having to do a saving throw to get through the crowd crush, I'm going to need you to roll 2d6 for me.
A 3, so a 1 and a 2.
It takes all of your mental energy not to just slaughter the ones who are in your way, but you don't. You hold back. You keep your daggers in your holsters, and you violently throw them out of your way. You don't use your dexterity or your ability to weave in and out and keep, no. If they are in your way, you strike them down and you keep moving. And it's a short time before you find yourself standing before the cracked obelisk. Massive, glowing with arcane energy as the unstable obelisk begins to crack apart. You see a man, a half-orc, wearing the attire of a monk, a simple robe, simple cloths and wraps around his hands and feet, and around his waist, a leather belt with fine and intricate engravings of different metallic runes all over it. Roll me a perception check.
Damn it. It was a 20 and then it took over to 2. 6.
It's hard to tell what school of monastery that this monk has come from, but even on a 6, it's easy to tell that he has one hand on a side of the obelisk. The other adjacent hand is attempting to hold it shut. In between, about waist high, a ruidium dagger lies embedded within the obelisk, and a member of the Vermilion Dream, the consortium, lies dead, burned as if electrocuted. The monk looks towards you, and with gritted teeth, you see every muscle of his body tense. A man made of strength itself, the epitome of the perfect physique. But he is still just a man. He says in great effort as he looks towards you, "Pull it out!" and looks down towards the dagger.
Okay. I think it's really hard. Can I summon Pipsqueak to see if she'll show up?
You can try.
Okay. I'm just gonna put the call out. It'd be really great if you showed up to help us out. And then I'm gonna run forward and reach to see if I can pull out the ruidium dagger.
Give me a dexterity check.
22.
You pull the dagger out. Not with your strength, but by finding the trajectory that it was inserted in, so you can almost pull it out like a puzzle piece. Little jiggle and a pull. The crowd screaming behind you. As the monk plants both his feet and you feel a burst of cold air push you. He struggles further as the belt around his waist starts to glow and crackle with electricity, with lightning itself. He looks at you and tries to mouth the word run before looking straight up into the sky, his back muscles glistening with sweat, his fingers starting to bleed by squeezing so hard into this obelisk, into this onyx. He looks straight up to the sky. One last time, Cord, I beg you. One last time! And his belt crackles with electricity. A thunderclap is heard so loud that it deafens the crowd as a storm cloud, black and powerful, appears directly overhead, over both of you, over this obelisk. He screams out as he pushes the two sides shut. It slowly comes together, the arcane energy within starting to fracture up in a fractal pattern like glass breaking from a central location. Lightning comes down from the storm cloud and hits him. He screams as he uses his strength, invigorated now by the power of the Storm Lord, to hold it shut completely. He takes a deep breath. You see the effort in him lessen. Roll me a medicine check.
$16.
He is the epitome of the expression of the body as an art form. But he is old. Older than you noticed before, now with this power from the Stormlord either activated or given to him in a moment of desperate prayer. You notice the patterns of lightning burning his skin, going up his back and down his arms. You notice his long beard starting to fray off and burn away as the electricity courses through him so strongly. You hear another loud lightning and thunderclap as he looks back at you with a deep breath, steeling himself mentally and using his focus as a trained monk to ignore the pain and effort. Thank you, friend. When I let go, it will explode. I'm going to try to protect as many of the people outside as I can, but I cannot extend the Stormlord's protection over us as well. If you do not wish to join me in this last effort, then I suggest you leave now! And he claps his hands hard into the obelisk, bending it to his will as his hands imprint themselves into the rock. The storm cloud overhead widens and moves, encapsulating the hurrying crowd outside in a protective bubble of thunderous air. Farron, in a moment, he's going to let go. What do you do?
I am so tired of people telling me what to do. I am going to look down at the ruidium dagger, and I'm going to just take a moment, close my eyes, orient myself to the situation, even though it's really hard. Ruidium can be used as spell components.
Yes. It can be used in place of any spell component.
I want to see if I can crush the dagger.
Roll me a strength check with advantage.
I'm all there.
Okay, the first one's not great. $18.
Knowing full well the risk that you're about to take, you take the blade and you place it in your palm. You squeeze it as hard as you can, expecting it to cut into you. But it doesn't. It shatters into dust and fragments as you realize that during the full Ruidus moon, maybe all Pallid Elves, but at least you in this moment, have resistance to piercing and slashing damage.
Oh, shit.
You don't feel the corruption of the raw ruidium stone in your hand as you break the runic seals that made it into a safe dagger to handle back into its raw components. It does not infect you. There is no blood on your hand. You can use this as a spell component. You are immune to ruidium during the full moon.
I am glad I am immune to the ruidium
You
of the full
immune
moon.
to rumidium.
I would like to see if I have time to give us more time.
Do you speak out to this monk?
I'm going to look at him and I hold it for just a moment. Just as long as you possibly can. Did we discuss how long it takes for the is it instantaneous for the scroll?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me roll D4.
As you roll that, you do feel a burst of raw force power as the monk sticks his feet and plants them into the ground.
Okay.
Preparing to hold.
I could give us 2 hours.
2 hours. Of what?
To get away. Shut up. And I'm just going to start casting.
He's going to roll an Arcana check to see if he knows what you're doing.
I'm going to use my bonus action to give him the help action.
Okay. Good thing, because he only rolled a 5. I recognize chronomancy when I see it. Not sure how much longer I can hold this. How long is it going to take to cast?
How long is it going to take to cast?
It's not a ritual. As long as you use ruidium as the spell components, you can cast it right now.
Okay. On the count of 3, when I say let go, we're going to see what we can do.
On your count.
1, 2, and then 3, and then as he lets go, I'm going to blow the ruidium into the blossoming crack.
That's cool. Do you use your scroll?
Yeah.
And this is the scroll of time stop, correct?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't use a spell slot.
No. I just I wanted to make sure that the title of the scroll.
It's yeah. Let's see here. It's the time stop scroll.
Cool. The air around the obelisk stops as you use the ruidium as a spell component, blowing it into the fracture. Two things happen. You start an immediate chain reaction. As this monk lets go, you blow it in there. You see the arcane powers start to pulsate from the wound in the obelisk as a bubble of stasis, of time itself, encapsulates both of you and this obelisk. The monk nods towards you, turns towards the crowd, and then looks back at you expectantly, as if he's ready for you to lead the way.
Great. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble in about 5 minutes. We got to go. And we're going to take off and try to get... How do you feel about sewers?
Anything's better than this.
They're an open sewer grate?
If you go through the crowd a little bit, there's sewer access, yes.
Okay. That's what we'll do.
You take off with the monk directly behind you. The smell of ozone in your nose and burnt hair and burnt skin. As you exit the stasis bubble, you hear the crowd screaming again as you get to the sewer grate and enter underground. The last thing you see in the glow of the ruinous full moon is the obelisk explode in a powerful burst of arcane, raw arcane energy. But it stays within that time bubble as if watching an explosion in slow motion. And you are comforted by seeing the crowd already, at least in this part of the street, thinning out, as well as the protection of the Stormlord himself, the one invoked by this monk, by cords chosen, making sure that even when the stasis is neutralized, if there's any arcane energy left to explode out, most people, if not all of them, because it is going to last 2 hours, will be protected. You enter the sewers. The first thing you notice is that there aren't any people down there, but the tunnel systems are collapsing. The instability caused by the fissure in the ground inside of the Bowl of Judgment is creating sinkholes. All of the water in this city comes from an underground oasis that is magically enhanced through a series of riverways that are also subterranean that lead into the sewers. So the existence of a massive fissure in the ground that goes into that very same aquifer is causing structural damage into the sewer system as well, and all over the city at large. Knowing how to get to Prolix's apartment, you start running. With Kaminari, or Kami, as he likes to be called, the monk, running right behind you. From there, we go to Heathcliff. Heathcliff left in the opposite direction of Farron. He's currently navigating a crowd, much like she was. Heathcliff, roll me a perception check with advantage.
You can either roll twice or right click on perception, and it'll be like roll with advantage.
Wait, was that to me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Heathcliff's turn.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good, man.
I will fill you in during our break while I'm a little distracted.
Understandable, dude. It's all good.
Who's Heathcliff again? I thought I died.
Nat 20 plus 1.
As you navigate the crowd, trying to stay on your feet and avoid being trampled underneath the massive amount of panicked people, you hear a distinct hissing and chittering sound, rapidly moving, and you smell fresh blood as directly in front of you on the street
Oh, fuck.
appears one of the serpent maws that escaped from the Colosseum earlier. It immediately starts to kill people by both walking over them with its pointed legs and shredding them as it does so, ignoring the crowd as if they're not even there. It's not difficult for it to just walk right through their bodies as if it's just squishy fruit. There's no way to get past it unless you turn around and go the other way that you came. Knowing, Heathcliff, that if you do so, this creature will continue to do nothing but slaughter innocent people. You also know that if you risk casting any spells that have an area of effect of any kind, that will also slaughter innocent people. There are shoulder-to-shoulder hundreds of people running. The slithering serpent maw, as it's called, picks up an individual with its claws and cuts them in half as it turns its attention towards you. What do you do?
Is everyone running in the same direction?
There is a distinct crowd running towards, as you were running, you're running towards where the serpent maw just jumped. Now people are starting to turn and run the other way, but mostly they're trying to continue running around it. It's hard to turn around and run when you're already shoulder to shoulder being shuffled in one direction. This is a full crowd crush type situation. It's that thick with people.
Okay, I don't know what else to do. I will try to save as many people as possible and cast sleep at 6th level.
Very cool. Is that a save? I think it's an HP thing, right?
Yeah, it's an HP thing. So I'm trying to share it right now.
No worries. I'm pulling it up myself too.
Oh, cool.
And although you do not have components on you, all you need for the material component is a pinch of fine sand. You're in the desert city of Ankarel. There's sand everywhere.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll try my hand at casting it.
Okay. Sounds, creatures, and magical slaughter. Roll 5d8. Okay, yep, roll 5d8.
So it also says when you cast this using a spell slot 2nd level or higher, you get an additional 2d8 for each slot.
Yep.
Level above 1st.
You sure do.
I don't know how to math.
So you're casting it at 5th level?
6th.
6th. So you're going to roll 5d8.
Plus
Oops, I rolled it for you by accident. Yeah, and then you're going to do 2d8 5 times.
So I rolled 15d8.
Yeah.
10. 2. 2 times 5 is 10.
10.
Yeah, plus an additional 5 for. Oh, okay. 10. Got it.
And just for reference, the Slithering Serpent Maw has 65 hit points. So you need to beat that.
If you didn't want to math it, could do it for you too. If you go,
Press cast and it just shared the spell.
Yeah, then you have to click on it to do it. 10d8. Yep, there you go.
And that's not enough.
yeah, if you open it up, it'll help you out with the math.
Yeah. Creatures within 20. I just make sure it doesn't also put a bunch of random people to sleep real quick. I got
It starts with the creature at the lowest hit points.
Yeah.
I was doing the best I could to save people. If people sleep, they sleep.
Okay, so it starts with the creature with the lowest hit points and then goes there. A creature's hit points must be equal to or less than the remaining total for that creature to be affected. You succeed in putting a significant amount of crowdgoers to sleep. As well as, let me just get my calculator out.
Not the calculator.
This is where he hits us with, but there's people still running, so they all get trampled to death.
No.
Oh my god, he would. Don't give him ideas.
Unfortunately, the slithering serpent maw, the scuttling serpent maw, excuse me, does slow down for a second as it shakes off your attack, your sleep spell, and then comes right for you, killing a few people on the way as it stomps over their sleeping bodies. It's going to make a few attacks. Makes 1 bite attack and 2 claw attacks. It shoots the snake head on its back forward, trying to hit you. It's going to miss. It's then going to try to claw into your body. What's your AC? It says 17 doesn't hit, I don't think.
No, it's at 20 at the moment.
It misses both times. You may respond.
I understand the more that I fight in this area, the more people are at risk. I tried the one safe option I had to save lives, and now I have to think about the majority over one. So I start running towards the area that has the least amount of people.
You turn to run. Your movement is halved due to the thickness of the crowd. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw. You need to beat a 15.
25.
You take no damage and are not knocked prone. Not having any restrictions on difficult terrain because it just slices through these people. The serpent maw continues to follow you. It tries to bite you again. It's going to be a 22 to hit. Does 22 hit you?
22 hits me.
It's going to do 14 points of piercing damage. And as it's still biting you with the snake head protruding from its back, it's going to do rolling a 20 to hit. Does that hit you? Or are you higher than 20?
20 hits me.
20 hits you. It's going to do an additional 9 points of slashing damage with its claw.
Okay. I do what I can, and I keep running.
Murder everyone.
That's all I could do without hurting people of my own.
You hear the sounds of entrails being spilled on the ground as body parts are thrown left and right as this serpent maw cuts through them, running after you. As it deals an additional 14 points of piercing damage, biting into your back, and 6 points of slashing damage with its claw.
Is there any alleyway or anywhere I could fit where I can minimize the damage to the civilians? Or at least put us in a face-to-face battle?
There is nothing but people panicking and running in all directions. Roll me an investigation check.
6.
You don't see any way out other than running north or south.
As a last resort, understanding it's going to possibly kill people, I cast Wall of Fire in the direction that the majority of the people are running to stop him from going that direction.
All right. At what level?
Fourth.
And how much damage does that do?
He does a Dex 18 first. Dex save 18. Or it does, sorry,
Yeah.
for assuming it's gender.
It's a crab with a snake coming out of it. It rolled a 19.
It takes 10 damage.
It takes 10 damage as it withstands the flames. And you hear the shocked and panicked sounds of a group of people in the crowd as they are nearly immediately reduced to ash. A moment goes by. You take in what just happened. You see that the serpent maw doesn't seem affected very much at all, and that a group of innocent people lie dead in your wake. And you hear a horn of war. Roll me a history check.
$18.
In the city of Ankarel, there are elite guards known as the Scar-Bearing Hands of Ord, or the Scar-Bearers for short. They are all Aasimar. They are celestial beings who have been serving the king of this city, the Dragon King, for a millennia. This is their sound, this is their call. They most likely are trying to gain control of the situation. Having seen what looks to them like a necromancer light a group of innocent people on fire, 5 of them, wings outstretched, glowing in the ruinous moonlight, land in front of you. 2 of them turn their attention towards the serpent maw, gain advantage on either side, and start to wrest it under their control. The other 3 look towards you with the same idea in mind. The first is going to use its wings and fly directly at you. It's going to do 22 points of slashing damage as its long sword
What
breaks against your back.
what was the roll for the save?
There is no save. This is a sword attack.
Yeah, I mean the armor class roll.
Oh, it rolled a 22 to hit.
Yeah, I cast shield.
Okay. Very cool. Bounces off of you. Landing hard. It takes the short sword out with its offhand. Rams it into your shoulder. Your shield's still protecting you. Seeing what just happened, the second hand of Ord, the Scarbearer, is going to take a similar maneuver, but this time with a shoulder strike into the longsword attack, so it can take it with advantage. It's going to do 13 points of slashing damage, following up with its short sword, doing an additional 4 points of piercing. The third and final, who are not resting the serpent maw, is also going to try to slash at you but miss. It's going to follow up very quickly with a short sword attack that also misses. Heathcliff, you can respond.
Now that helps here. I don't have to worry about the crab. I cast greater invisibility on myself. And I run to Prolexis, because I have no idea where the rest of my friends are.
You turn and run, knowing full well that you can absolutely escape unseen. Powerful as they are not mages. They most likely can't see invisibility, and at this point, their honor would direct them to take care of the situation in front of them, not the one running away. You hear them gain control over the serpent maw. You hear the crowd cheer as it dies. Oops. And you're able to continue down the street. With that, we're going to take about a 5-minute break, everybody. Get yourself a little snackies, and we'll be right back.
Good job, guys. Good job.
back from a short break. As Heathcliff turns invisible and runs through the crowd unnoticed, we turn our attention to Nethiola, who similarly left and took a different direction from everyone else. Nethiola, I'm going to need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. You want to beat a 15.
18.
18 beats it. You are able to not only remain on your feet, but you take no damage from the crowd crushing you. Your movement is reduced to half speed.
Nope. I don't take any,
No damage.
like, difficult terrain doesn't affect me.
Oh, desert is your favorite terrain, correct? This would count as difficult terrain generally, but not for you, not for a ranger. You run down the street towards Prolix's apartment, or at least where you think Prolix's apartment might be. Roll me a investigation check.
It's another plus 0. 15.
Ahead of you, through the thickness of the crowd, you do notice one of the sporadic sewer grates on this part of the streets. Looks like someone opened it, went down, and didn't shut it all the way.
Okay, there's people down there. Okay, I'll disregarding what happened last time. Jump down, fucking just jump down.
Bad memories down here, but here we go. It's weirdly loud down here with all of the people's feet trampling above. And you take off running in the direction that you think you should, towards what you believe to be Prolix's apartment. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, that's good. Plus 9. 15.
Meets it, beats it. Lucky you. Chunks of stone and cement fall from the top of the sewer as you run, as portions of the street above collapse under the weight of what's happening.
Parkour.
Roll me a survival check.
Oh, cool. 17 plus 5, 20 something. 22.
Your instincts, not your memory, tell you where you need to go. You're running at full speed, dodging falling debris with all of your focus, staying as light on your feet as you can, keeping your ears and eyes open for any danger, knowing full well that last time you were down here there was a lot to be worried about. With the sound of your breath getting louder and louder as you run, and your heartbeat pounding in your ears, you hear the sounds of someone struggling ahead of you.
I put up my hood and go stealthy.
Roll a stealth check.
13 plus 9, 21, right? 22.
There is a pile of debris in front of you, and out from the bottom of it you see a single horn and a purplish blue hand.
Or did I have a -1 to strength?
You can choose to help this individual, or you can keep running. The debris is not blocking your path.
I'm gonna like sneak up a little bit, like get into the crack where the horn's popping out. Running away seemed like a bad option for you. Yeah, speak up. I don't know what you're saying.
Roll me a medicine check.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, nice. 19.
There's a distinct.
You keep making me roll like +0.
Sorry.
It's almost like he reviewed the character sheets tonight or something. God.
Tee. There's a distinct wetness and pop to the gurgles behind the stones. Whoever is under there, their mouth is full of blood.
Is there a plank or something around that I can help to leverage this? That isn't my bow, because I'm not gonna
your bow.
risk that.
Yeah, there's debris kind of scattered around everywhere, so you can find a plank of wood floating in the skunk water relatively easily.
Yeah, I want to try to like winch it up. You know what I mean? Like put a rock and then put the plank under there and just
give me a strength check with advantage. Mechanical advantage. Simple machines, baby.
14 minus 1 is 13.
You're able to lift up a rock just enough to make out the face of Edion.
Use your arms. Help. I'm very weak.
I'm gonna try.
Try harder.
He's gonna roll. A nat 1.
Damn.
You fucking suck.
He starts to lose consciousness. You can tell he's going to not be able to withstand these injuries for long. Roll me a dexterity saving throw as more debris falls.
Another 22.
You're able to avoid it. With his face now exposed, you can see that it's not just his mouth that's bleeding. There's blood from his ears and nose as well. And the blood isn't from an injury to the mouth. It's coming from inside of his body.
Fine. I'll take the potion of healing that I have and just shove it down his face. I have 3. I'll use one of them.
He drinks.
He doesn't get all of them.
And with it, is able to help you push the rock off of his torso. He rolls over onto his side. Ooh, dog. Ooh, I haven't taken a deep breath. Ooh, that feels good. Thanks a lot. And he stands up and turns as if he's going to run.
I'm gonna shoot him in the foot.
Roll to attack.
I'm gonna stop him in place. Hold on. I need to go back to actions. What's my plus? 14 plus 9. 23.
You pin his foot to the ground as he inhales sharply. Aha! Oh, out of the frying pan into the fire. Okay. Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, you need to pay me back for that health potion I just gave you?
I don't have any gold.
That sounds like not my problem.
I can work it off. I'm good at things, like I can wash dishes or beat the rugs. It's very dusty in this city, correct? You look familiar.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I'm very handsome.
Me too.
You say you can work it off, but you were just going to run away after I freed you?
I assumed you were also going to run. It seems like this is a bad place to just sort of stay. I mean, we're here now.
Well, I was
talking.
going to leave you, but I decided that it would be better if I helped a citizen.
It's very kind.
You know, that's what I do. I help people.
Oh,
Murder demons.
demon murderer. It's a very... I'm very impressed with your many accomplishments. However, roll me a dexterity saving throw. And so will he.
19.
You both pass. Oh, well, yes, accomplished as you may be, it seems like this whole tunnel system might come down at any moment, and perhaps we should walk and talk, or maybe run and talk, or maybe run and then talk later when we're not going to die.
Fair point. And I'll run, like, as I'm running past him, I want to, like, canonize it that I, like, whistle to get the arrow back to me, like Yondu. So, like, as I run past him,
that
I'm
is
just like...
now
tweet, tweet.
official.
Like,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah, I picked it up in some forest where pixies were yelling at us.
Now, for reference, it does hurt more coming out than going in.
I don't care.
I'm going to
Also,
try
not my problem.
to keep up, but, you know, this injury to my foot is going to slow me down a little bit. After you.
I gave you a health potion
Yeah, but then you shot me in the foot.
because you were going to run away without trying to pay me back.
I will pay you back.
Again, not my problem.
I do. Listen, I'm staying in a hotel, I guess, so to speak, or a casino. I guess a hotel casino. I do have some gold there, but
We have one of those. We kicked him out. We kicked out the guy that lived there, and then we made it our place.
Oh, I thought you were.
He's very weird.
good
He's like
person.
a
I thought-
tiefling that shaved his horns off.
Oh, how offensive!
Exactly. So we were like, "Fuck you. This is our house now."
Would have been like, fuck you too. Like, fuck that. That's my house now. Exactly.
That you don't get to talk to him like that.
I don't.
You don't know who
I
he
haven't
is.
met him yet. I don't know. I don't really talk to anyone like that.
Exactly.
I tend to just not
Just
say
follow
much at
me.
all. Okay,
Just
let's
follow me.
After you.
It's like they're related.
You take off with Edion limping slightly, but keeping up with you through the sewer system towards Perlux's apartment, where we now give our attention to ECU.
Oh, fuck me.
ECU 67.
Superman into the sky.
Ruh-roh.
Man.
How do you hold your arms when you're flying? Are you like Supermaning it?
Are you like a T, a Y?
Are you
I
just
see
going
myself
like,
as
Iron Man in
I'm Iron Man in it.
He's doing this like his arms behind him.
he's using his arms as like that? He like tilting. Ooh.
Oh, balance.
Let's.
Which system are you using, Jarvis or Friday?
I'm using
ECU.
neither.
ECU, you fly away. You fucking fly out of the Coliseum. Getting to your feet just so you can pass through the archways to exit. And in the panic and chaos, you find yourself deep within a crowd on these city streets. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Right? 17.
You are able to withstand the crowd and their propensity to trample and crush those who don't keep up. You see the scenes of carnage all around you. And with the red moon at the height of its full cycle right now, you are flooded with intrusive memories of war. The last time you saw a moon this color and this full, you watched as pallid elves became something terrifying on that battlefield. Instead of using their grace and cunning, magic and dexterity to fight each other and also the Warforged sent to kill them, they began to rip their enemies apart. They took Warforged down like they were nothing more than a heavily armored guard, their eyes glowing as red and deep with rage as the moon itself. Roll me a perception check.
15.
You see people in the crowd sporadically start to stop and fall, drop to their knees, grab their friends and partners as they attempt to stay on their feet. Spikes of red crystalline ruidium emerge from their chests, their necks, the back of their heads, their arms, as they cry out in desperation and die from their infections. The moon now at its fullest. Their bodies not strong enough, their minds not trained enough to understand what's happening to them. Most likely a sad leftover of Aloysia's many experiments in this city with the substance. You hear the crowd scream and run. And then you hear a crowd scream and run from the same distance in the other direction. You find yourself at a crossroads on these city streets. You know that you must choose one direction to get where you need to go. You could turn around and find an alternate path. 80 feet apart on either side of the crossroads, two scuttling serpent maws make themselves known, crushing and slicing their way through the crowd. You have some choices before you, ECU. You can turn and leave and run in the other direction and get to Prolix's apartment as quickly as possible. Wait for the hands of Ord to land and put this situation under control. Or hope that they will. Or you can choose one, the other, or both, but knowing that they're 80 feet apart, knowing that there are hundreds of people crowding these streets, it is apparent to you, ECU, in this moment that whichever you choose, the other will slaughter, needlessly and in a rampage. You cannot save everyone here. What do you do?
Well, I know that I still had a little bit of time with my Twilight Sanctuary up. So I'm going to fly down and get to where I can still see both of them. But you said they're 80 feet apart, right?
Yes.
So I'd like to get somewhere like right in the middle as I'm approaching and let my Twilight do its thing on anybody I can save. And then I'm going to look at both of them and cast Banishment at 5th level.
Very cool. What's the save?
Charisma 18.
Wow. The first one fails miserably. The second one fails miserably, as both creatures are sent away to an alternate plane of existence. Where do you send them, or do you not get to choose?
It just says, I don't think I get to choose. It just says another plane of existence. I send it to its native plane of existence If it's native to the plane of existence you're on, you banish the target to a harmless demi-plane. And while there, it's incapacitated and remains there for 1 minute. If the target is native to a different plane of existence than the one you're on, the target is banished, returning to its home plane. If the spell ends before 1 minute has passed, the target reappears. But if it lasts the whole minute, they stay. They don't return.
Very
So I
cool.
don't know if they're from another plane or not, but
Technically, yes.
so if I can maintain it for a minute, it is concentration. They stay. They don't come back.
This will start the clock on your concentration because you still have to navigate the crowd now that you are on your feet, no longer flying. And with the monsters gone, the panicked people start to crush in immediately. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. And I'm just making my way toward Prolix. That's a 16.
You beat it by 1.
Okay.
It's a long way to Prolix's, but the further you get on these streets from the epicenter of the calamity before you, the less the crowd is panicked and chaotic, the more they're taking lefts and rights down alleyways into residential areas to presumably get to their safe homes and make sure their families are all right. You see the hands of Ord, the Scar-bearers themselves, legendary as they are, in person with your own 2 eyes, flying above your head, silhouettes against the red moon. Roll me 1 more Constitution saving throw.
$19.
Successfully having banished 2 of the unknown amount of scuttling serpent maws that have infiltrated the streets here. Using what's left of your Twilight Sanctuary to heal and protect those who may be in the crowd around you, you make your way to Prolix's apartment. The crowd is quieted in this section of the city. All of you, those of you who are alive, one by one, yet relatively quickly, one after the other, enter into Prolix's apartment. The first one to arrive is Farron, with the monk, Kami, directly behind her.
I go up and I knock on the door and I say, It's me. Don't open yet. There's somebody with me. And I'm going to listen to the door to see if anybody's in there.
You hear a light, distinct, and purposeful scratching in a familiar pattern. Scratch, scratch, long scratch, 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 long scratch, scratch.
I scratch back, mimicking the pattern.
The door unlocks.
What does Ramiro look like?
The door, with a click, unlocks and slowly opens. And you see an exhausted and filthy Jonathan standing there, bleeding from a deep gash on his head, right above his right eyebrow, that has been hastily stitched together with whatever string looks like he was lying around. He smiles, blood on his teeth. Don't get pissed off, alright? And he opens the door.
You look like shit.
Yeah. Well, your sister's a fucking... She's a little sprinkler, isn't she? She's tied up with a cloth around her mouth, eyes as red as the moon, wiggling with rage on Prolix's kitchen table. I couldn't even take her dagger. I just had to tie her up with the fucking thing still in her hand.
I cast sleep on her.
She immediately succumbs into a peaceful sleep. You know, I thought I was going to make it to my old age without adding any more scars to this mug of mine. You know, this is my moneymaker outside of my regular job. Like, now, look how deep this is.
I root around in my bag and I pull out. I think I have some balm or something in here. Yeah, I have a healing balm. And I just pass it over.
I'm sorry, I was trying to be funny, but I guess I'm a little upset. Came out harsh. Your sister, she's never been outside during the red moon, has she?
No.
I should have saw it coming, but, you know, we were on it pretty quick.
Didn't even think. I'm sorry. I owe you an apology.
It's alright. You look like you got pretty good control of it.
Years of practice.
Not going to cut me, are you?
I don't think so.
Who's your friend?
I'm going to turn to the orc, and I don't even think he introduced himself. Right?
No.
A
large man.
This guy
Apologies.
was keeping everything together.
I don't think I gave a proper introduction, my friends. I am Kaminari. I am first monk, last of my order, and the Stormlord Chord's chosen.
Second year at UA High School.
He collapses onto his hands and knees.
Oh shit. I pass over. Heavily. I have another healing potion in my bag. I'm gonna give it to him.
Roll me a medicine check with advantage.
First one's an 18. And the second is a 23.
The healing potion you give him helps him regain enough strength to stand back to his feet, although with difficulty. And on a 23 medicine check, knowing what you do about how bodies work when they are put under stress, whatever is ailing him is much, much deeper than something a healing potion could fix. On a 23, you would know that even somebody who had dedicated their long life to the Stormlord himself can only handle so much electricity passing over their heart for a period of time. The effort that he had to sustain, backed up by the power of the Stormlord, was too much for his body. And the only thing keeping him together, the only thing keeping his heart pumping right now, is his indomitable will as a monk and his dedication to finish his job. You don't know what that job is. But he does not have much time left. And he really needs to rest right now.
Okay.
He stands to both feet. I should
I
secure...
would help him to Prolix's bed.
No.
Our bed.
He doesn't...
The bed.
He doesn't... I forgot that you guys all shared it. At one point, you all were sleeping in the bed together.
Everyone's bed.
He doesn't physically resist, but he under his breath is like, no, I can help you secure the doors. I can help you.
It's fine.
He lies down and loses consciousness quickly. Jonathan looks at you with a grin. Well, he's right fucked up, eh?
Oh, he's fucked.
Smells like ozone.
He, How much do you know about the Stormlord?
Called the store enough as anybody, you know.
Scary guy, lightning.
I wouldn't say scary. Every one of them fucking prime deities is as scary as they are cool, you know. Stormlord's got like
Cool guy.
they call him Stormlord, but it's all about like honor and freedom, and those aren't concepts that I disagree with.
Fair. He kept that giant obelisk together until we were... Oh, I'm also probably going to not be able to stay here long. I used chronomancy.
Makes sense.
That's why the whole place isn't leveled.
I was wondering about that. I'm gonna say this. He puts his hand around his dagger, and you notice, not with aggression, but like a kid with a stuffed animal. It's like his comfort blanket. If they come for you, I don't care how fucking pale they are. You don't have to go anywhere.
I think we gotta... There's... I don't even know what to say. I'm not good at this. This was supposed to be a vacation, and it's turned into whatever the fuck this is.
Nethiola bursts into the door.
Oh shit,
okay.
Jonathan! He touched my horns. You friends? He disappeared that one time. We were just fighting him.
I didn't lock the door behind me. Sorry about that.
We should probably lock the door now.
Good plan.
Oh wait, hold on. Get the fuck in here.
Oh, of course. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you. Whoever you are.
Who the
That's
fuck
right.
is
He was
this?
your teammate. I found him in the sewers.
Okay. Go sit up. Can you sit on the couch, please? I don't know what to do with you right now.
He just very politely and awkwardly, like Hugh Grant, just like sits on the couch quietly.
Perfect.
Don't put blood on the carpet.
Oh, sorry.
You look like shit too.
It's hurtful, but I mean, not as bad as him. He was crushed under a rock. You look like you're doing not terrible. Is your sister okay?
She's asleep. She tried to kill everybody, but it's fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, this seems to be going around right now.
Yeah. Did we get rid of all the rubidium powder? This is me asking as a person.
I
think we put it. I think we gave it to the guy, right?
Yeah.
We put it in the safe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We gave it to the principal guy.
Okay, good.
And then Rengoku had some in his hand.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's secured. Okay, that's good.
I mean, you guys have a ton of ruidium
Oh, yeah.
in the
Like a shitload.
bag of holding.
Yeah, our armor and stuff, right?
Nah, the amount that I took.
Yeah, like you have a buttload of it in your bag of holding, as well as some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Super forgot about that.
These
You
sounds.
okay? You look
I'll
sad.
get that away. Yeah, just don't wake Ramira up.
But wasn't planning on it. Is she trying to kill people? I don't.
Mhm.
I'm not going to deal with
It's
it.
her first red moon. It's a thing.
What happens?
Kind of like a weird red frenzy, and you don't really think about what you're doing, and then the next thing you know, there's 14 bodies around you, and then you're like, oh, just another normal 3-month cycle, and just back onto everyday life.
This sounds really fucked up.
Great for missions. Not great
Missions
for normal
of
people.
death.
Hmm.
Okay.
You didn't run into Alicia, did you?
No, I saw that there's too many people running upstairs, so I jumped in the sewer again, and then
Yeah,
I
we
found
found
him.
that way too.
He was getting crushed.
Hello.
We probably shouldn't go into the sewers again because everything was falling.
Yeah,
Too many people.
too many people.
Do you need a hug?
Sure. It's very awkward.
Yeah, it's like
It's kinda
it's like a.
ECU walks in on the most awkward hug ever given.
Oh, thank God.
Jesus.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. What the fuck just happened?
The door shuts. An invisible person locks it.
I pull up my dagger.
Heathcliff drops his greater invisibility and apologizes for startling you.
Okay, I put my dagger away.
And for the first time since the tournament, you're with your friends, but someone isn't here.
Did anybody see Rengoku leave?
I haven't seen him.
I think ECU is the last one.
He was close to getting out as I was leaving. He hasn't made it here yet?
I haven't seen him. Should we just stay up and wait?
Maybe he got lost.
You all rest. I'll stay up and wait.
Ah, cool.
And I'm gonna pop a Twilight Sanctuary again, so everybody starts to heal.
Look, I'm really stressed out. I need to pop a Twilight Sanctuary.
Don't know
Just
what to
fucking
do. I'm just
chill.
gonna pop this Twilight Sanctuary.
Like, it works faster if you snort it, okay? Don't
Top
judge
of
me.
sanctuary. I'm chilling.
You gotta crunch it up. You can't just pop it, okay?
Everyone's exhausted and filthy. But over the hours that it took you to get here and the subsequent time that you've been in the apartment, this district was already more quiet. People just running outside because they knew something had happened on the other side of the city. In the distance, you hear the telltale thumping of Aasimar dropping out of the sky. And you fall asleep if you need to, at least comforted by knowing that the immediate situation is not going to remain out of hand for much longer, and that where you are, you're all safe. Farron, you don't need to sleep very much, and during the full ruinous moon, you only sleep if you want to. You have no exhaustion to worry about. as long as the red moon is full. Nethiola, you're beat. You're fucking beat.
Yeah. He's doing one of those, like those movie things where, like, you know, one person's sitting on one side and the other dude, like leans up against the wall and then, like, fucking slumps down, hands on his knees, just, but, like, fucking mean mugging the other guy, staring across because there's something about this guy that I need to figure out, but he's kind of a bitch.
He very awkwardly, like, just sort of shuffles and lies on his side and also falls asleep. Farron, do you choose to...
He can't lay on our couch.
He sleeps sitting up. Like Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant sleeps
That's
sitting up.
canon now.
Yeah. Farron, do you choose to sleep?
I'm gonna go out the window and sit on the roof.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
$22.
It's like a jolt of fury when the light of the moon hits you. You breathe through it. You gain control of yourself as you find a comfortable place to sit. Other than the moon, the only light you see is the red glowing steam rising from the crevice on the other side of the city that was created just a few hours ago. But it is beautiful up here. The city is amazing. Probably the most incredible thing you've ever seen in your life. This was supposed to be a vacation. And for the moment, despite everything, you do let yourself enjoy the scene of the red moon over the jewel of the desert. Farther away from home than you ever thought you would be. ECU. Do you remain vigilant at the door, or do you have other plans?
Is everybody asleep and Farron's on the roof?
Yep.
I'm gonna sleep with my eyes open.
looking at this tiefling that may or may not be your father, and also may or may not be Hugh Grant.
I'm gonna kind of clear a little space around me and sit on the floor. Sprinkle some little bit of holy water that I've always just kind of had from.
You're a cleric.
And light some incense, some of the stuff that my father gave me. I'm going to look at one of the really expensive Feywild gems that I had. And I'm going to crush it in my hands. About 1,000 gold pieces worth. And I'm going to spend 10 minutes and cast Forbiddance.
I've never heard of this spell.
So an 8-mile radius, 40,000 square feet, above and below, 30 feet above and 30 feet below. Creatures can't teleport into an area, use portals or anything. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. No planar travel. That's a big ass area.
It's 8 miles, size of San Francisco.
San Francisco's
size of
tiny.
Anchorage.
Yeah, it's not very big.
Yeah, San Francisco's like.
Yeah, I didn't know that's tiny.
Which is I know we don't have a scale on this, but I'm sure there's one out there. But so there's no teleportation. The password is going to be Rengoku. And no elementals, Fae, fiends, or undead are allowed in this area.
For a whole day?
And if they're here already, 5d10 radiant damage every time they start their turn there.
Yeah, this map does have square footage on it. By the
Oh,
Okay.
oh my god. This is the whole city.
It's the whole city.
Yeah.
Come on, starting from Prolix's place. That's just 7,000. Yeah, that's the
So
whole. That's
that-
literally the whole fucking city.
Wow.
It's 40,000 would be passed.
Mhm.
Holy fuck.
That's
So for a
awesome.
whole day, that means anything that fits Celestials, Elementals, Fae, Fiends, or Undead will take 5d10 radiant damage every 6 seconds.
Nice.
Holy fuck, dude.
I need to check something. Okay. So this might be...
Counterspell.
See, this is why I like to edit stuff for viewing instead of doing live plays, because this is a complicated rules question that boils down to my choice, and I don't know.
Sorry.
It's alright. Fuck. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. Cool. Aasimar have celestial traits, but are not themselves no longer celestials.
Yeah.
It's in Volos. I just double checked to make sure you didn't just fucking really piss off
Oh,
the answer
yeah.
board. I was like, that's so beautiful. Except no.
I looked before I said Celestials.
I was like, oh fuck, are they? Are they though? No, mechanically they're not. Thanks, Volo. Volo's always coming through in a clutch. He's back at camp right now being like, oh, I'll poke your eye out and give you some answers to your questions. Whew.
So I know there was undead necromancy somewhere in the city.
There was.
And
if they're here, they'll get fucked up. And for the whole next day, this entire city is protected from any more creatures emerging. Because they weren't just coming from the waters underneath of the city, they were coming from the Netherdeep itself. And that is a pocket dimension, a pocket plane created by the Apothian himself in his anguish. You know this from the jewel embedded in your chest and the memories of that poor man embedded within it. You have a vision as you cast this spell. You're cold. Very, very cold. And you feel the pressure of something cutting into your wrists, into your legs, and when you look down, you realize you are deep underwater, your long brown hair flowing in front of your face, obscuring your view of the shackles that are nearly embedding themselves into your flesh. And you're angry. You will make them pay for forgetting you, for leaving you here to rot, for letting your sacrifice mean nothing, to build houses of gambling and prostitution on what ruins lie beneath of what once was the greatest elven city in existence. You see a flash of necrotic and deforming arcane energy fly from the tip of a spear held by a creature, one eye in the middle of its head, 100 feet tall. That spear striking the shield of just a man. Yourself. You take a knee from the pressure, and you watch as not only this beautiful elven city around you starts to immediately flood and collapse and sink into the earth itself as you desperately use all of the power given to you by 3 separate gods to stop this strike from destroying the entire continent. You watch some of the elves transform into ogres and orcs, for this is how they became. This is when their being was brought into this existence. You feel a loneliness and a rage and a desperation that is indescribable. And for a second, you leave that body and you look upon the man floating here alone in the dark, eyes as red as the full moon outside, and perceiving you in your mind, not with anger or malice, but holding back weeping tears. You hear him say, "Please help me." As you bring your consciousness back to where you are casting the spell to protect the entire city for the next day from any creatures that may emerge from the cavern created that leads directly to the Netherdeep that holds this individual. Farron sitting peacefully up on the roof, her sister asleep on the table, Jonathan tending to his wounds and subtly keeping watch as well. ECU, roll me a religion check with advantage.
Rolled 2 17s, so 18 total.
You know that the power of this jewel embedded in your chest is the key to releasing this person. You don't know how, but you know that your ability to tap into so far 2 of the 3 gods that put a piece of themselves in it will be what allows you to get into the Netherdeep and to at least try to figure out what's happening. Farron, how long do you stay on the roof?
I don't think long, just enough to kind of take it in for a moment. Probably no more than an hour. I feel like I would have felt ECU casting the spell.
ECU, does it look like anything, or is it just a very subtle thing that you would have to feel in the weave, like Farron described?
Well, I think with the red glow of the moon, I think there would just be this faint blue light running through the streets just every so often. In the shadows cast from the red moon, there'd be that blue.
Little pulse.
Mm-hmm.
It would be beautiful.
And I think Farron would know very deep down that if Rengoku hasn't shown up by now, there's a very good chance he will not be showing up. And I think she takes that hour up there to compartmentalize everything that's happened and shove very deep down the feeling of failure. Something that can be dealt with later, hopefully.
Just like a good soldier.
Just shove it real deep, real deep.
Get in there.
Hide it in the muscles.
Hide it in the muscles.
And I think, coming to terms with that, I think her first initial thought was to get Ramira back to the Pallid Grove. But I just don't think that that's possible, given the circumstances. I think the city's going to be on a lockdown. And I don't think there's going to be any airships leaving anytime soon. But there might be somebody who can help. And I think that person, it's not Aloysia, but was working with Aloysia, the owl.
The woman, the old woman who leads, the leader of the consortium of the Vermilion Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Aloysia's former, well, I accidentally just
I'm
said
assuming former
boss.
employee.
So
she
now,
kind of fucked everything up.
She wasn't acting on orders. This was an unauthorized series of events.
Okay, so she was working as an independent contractor. Got it.
They know nothing about the prison that she ran. They know nothing about what she was doing right under their noses.
Okay. So we at least, Nethiola and myself still have evidence of that. I'm pretty sure I kept the logbook somewhere in the bag of holding.
You put them in the bag of holding, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The cleavage of holding.
The cleavage of holding.
The cleavage of holding.
And I think I'm going to slide in the window. And
Smells
I don't
of
know.
elven incense. It's very heavy in the air.
Almost smells like home.
Almost. Just without the moss and the and the mushrooms.
Apparent murder.
Apparent murder. Who's awake? Just ECU?
Yes. Jonathan, you would notice,
You
has
think I'm awake?
fallen asleep, leaning against the wall, sitting on the kitchen table next to your sister. Hand still on his dagger. Head still towards the door.
Okay. And I'm gonna look at ECU, who's awake, because he doesn't sleep. And can I cross the circle?
Yeah, that's fine.
Go into the circle and I sit down. And I put a hand on your shoulder. And I just say, thank you for doing this.
I miss him. I think I know what happened.
I think I know too.
I messed it all up.
No.
I said I wanted to protect them and I didn't protect them.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't win. And that is just life. It goes on. Some things stand still. The memories, fragments of what could have been and what wasn't. But you can't. The world won't stop.
We need to finish this for him.
Of course.
And we need to get people to help us. Thank you, Farron, for everything you do.
Ramira and I, and probably Jonathan, because I'm 90% sure he's eavesdropping,
Snores.
will... That doesn't fool anybody. You should really work on that.
Shwoo, shwee.
Will be heading to the Vermilion Consortium. I know that it seems like a betrayal, but it's not. We need people who can help us. And this is the first step in that direction. They probably have no idea that Aloysia was pulling strings behind their back. And I highly doubt she's anywhere near here. Probably had a teleportation stone or tablet on her person that took her somewhere. Hope she got impaled in Betrayer's Rise. I don't know where she is.
Well,
But we're going to find her. And I'm going to kill her.
Darren, I trust you now more than I ever have. And I'll just take my hand and put it on hers and just hold her hand and sit there in silence.
You see.
I will not.
Go
Oh, go ahead.
No.
I say I will. I just wanted to let you know, like, I won't be untying Ramira until the moon sets. So we'll be staying. We're not leaving right away. I promise.
She is wiggling with dreams of fighting. Like having like full body wiggles as like you could tell she's balling her fists up and just dreaming of like beating the shit out of kids on the schoolyard or something.
I honestly think I would just go and pick her up. She's so little.
Yeah.
That it's not too hard to do, and just bring her back to the circle and just sit with her.
You would also notice very plainly the hole in her armor and clothes directly in the center of her stomach, where Nethiolus shot an arrow through her to get her out of the Colosseum. Her skin, of course.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky
healed.
Bobby.
But for the first time, you know your sister as a different type of person.
Hopefully she won't be fighting for a while.
Dude.
ECU, you would notice as the moon starts to crest and slowly fade. And the dawn's light starts to glow over the horizon before the beginnings of the sun are shown. Farron's eyes go from that deep red to a shortish, sort of like ruby glow. And then finally, with a heavy sigh, return to their normal color. Her sister falling into a very deep, dreamless sleep at this point. And as the sun rises and the city quiets, Nethiola, you're the first of the group that's asleep to wake up, followed by Heathcliff. Jonathan wakes up, but realizing, reading the room, retires himself to the roof. The monk.
So bad.
The monk and Edion remain fast asleep. And as the morning goes from the early rays to the full bright sun, the hot desert sun in Ankarel, the door does not open. No one else comes.
So, then Rengoku never showed up?
No,
No.
he didn't.
I never got to pay him back for cutting my hand in the forest.
Your hand will bear that scar for the rest of your life.
He did it right there.
And I'm gonna walk outside the door to the wall and kind of look around and take just a rock or chisel or anything that was either in the apartment or on the ground, and take however long it does and carve a leaf, a big leaf on the wall as a sign for home.
It doesn't take you long at all. As the heat of the day starts to show itself. You complete your memorial. And place it on Prolix's wall. Roll me a... I'm going to say a perception and an arcana check, back to back.
Perception and Arcana. Okay, here we go.
As you place the leaf on Prolix's wall.
All right. Arcana is a 6.
Okay, yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Perception is a 21.
So you won't know how it works, but as you place it, make sure it's square, take a step back and kind of look up and down. You look down and see where there's normally like a welcome mat. This is a teleportation circle with Prolix's sigils on it. You very quickly realize that it's going to take him a while to get back here. He normally travels by teleporting in and out of this part of the city and to his apartment. And for the whole day, no one can teleport. So presumably Prolix is somewhere with his tablet being like, what the fuck? Like it's just not working. But the memorial leaf looks really nice in the sun.
No, you scratch his teleportation circle so he can't use it.
Oh, you can destroy
It's
it
not
if you'd like.
complete?
Yeah, it's just it's scratched
This
into
is-
the floor.
This is our home. I'll go out to see, but it looks good. And notice ECU looking at the ground. This is terrible artwork.
Oh no!
Start to erase it.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
Oh man, poor Prolix. He'd been sleeping in the office for like weeks.
He can find a new place.
You can have the guest
A
room.
lot of people just died. Just I guess still standing outside. So who are we going after now? What's the plan?
I think Farron had a good idea. But we
Okay.
need allies and answers.
Do you tell them about your vision? Easy.
Yeah, I think this is when I would start to explain while I was in deep thought last night. I had a vision, and I would explain the vision of what I saw. I think where we go next is under the city. We need to find a way down there.
And to get there, we're going to need supplies and money and time. But we can get there.
Well, we can get money from the small casino man.
Oh no, we wasted all that on that gambling table.
When you guys got addicted to gambling.
We didn't spend any money.
Oh yeah, it was
Right?
like no, the first round was like all the gold that we had.
I thought he said we could do that one for free. Then we
I thought it was all the
didn't.
gold that we had.
You guys,
No.
you guys drew, I think, 3 times.
We drew once.
We all
No.
played one round,
We played one round, and then we used the jewels to draw again,
and then I fixed
and
everything.
then you fixed it, so we never used the jewels.
Nope, you still have the jewel.
I
Yeah,
didn't
so we
draw a
just
second
did one
time.
round. So do we have cash?
Yeah.
We should have cash.
Mhm.
The only time we spent money was at the armorer, and then we sponsored her, so we didn't have to pay anything.
Oh, by
You
the way,
guys
you're
give her
all-
more money.
You're all still wearing the t-shirts.
Oh God! Ugh.
Yeah, Annie's armaments like
Mine's
big
super
thumbs up.
bloody. And
Just this like dwarven lady with a
That's
short
right. That's
red
right.
beard.
Heathcliff and I gave her the money so she could get to Bazixon.
Yep.
I gotta send that contract.
So we can go to casino, man, and say, hey, you know people? We need help. We have to fight a lot of people. He'd help. The guy I found in the sewer, he'd probably help. He owes me money because I gave him a health potion. So he'll work. He said he can do something.
Great. And we have some very old monk that might die in the next few days to worry about too.
Farron, do you
I
tell
mean, he's-
them about what you saw him do?
I think I give a very quietly edited version.
The cliff notes.
Question for would there have been like because you stopped it for 2 hours? Would there have been like a giant
Mhm.
explosion that we heard throughout the night or something?
It like basically imploded in itself. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
so
and the
it was
bubble
like a
kind
black
of, like,
hole
kept
type
it,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like if you were to
Okay,
go to
okay.
the site now, there would be where the obelisk stood. There's like a small crater,
Like a little meteor thing.
yeah,
Okay.
right. Like, but it didn't explode because of the spell.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
And
that's
I
pretty
have to. I hate using this magic, but I have to probably not look like a pallet elf for a little while because time magic is super illegal. Heavily restricted.
That's fancy for super illegal.
Yeah. Very heavily monitored.
I mean, your brother used it.
Yeah, now he's stuck in the Feywild.
He looked like he was having a good time.
Any place with books is a good time for him.
Nathiola, roll me a perception check.
Plus 9, 18.
Nice.
Dude, 9 perception.
Prolux's apartment's on the top floor. You hear huffing and pitter-pattering of like the sound of someone's feet that has been running a marathon that they didn't train for. Like they're still running, but it's just like step. Like they might as well just walk, but they're still just running. And you hear the distinct sound of scrolls falling downstairs.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go by myself.
Gonna go down the stairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the stairs.
You see about halfway up the second flight of stairs, Prolix Yusuf, with an arm full of scrolls and tomes, mumbling to himself about the teleportation not working for some reason, is running as fast as his little legs will carry him up towards his apartment.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Oh, you, take these! And he hands you a big pile of papers.
I drop him.
Oh, he doesn't necessarily respond and just keeps heading up towards his apartment. Do you know anything about...
No, hold on. Wait.
How can you use a break? I've been running for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not used to...
Why?
Like, look at me. I teleport. My body. It's not for running.
Oh, that's okay. What are you doing?
I have to protect these scrolls. Why are you in my apartment? It didn't. There's something horrible happened last night. I know you could stay here, but this is highly unusual.
Your apartment?
Indeed.
We bought this place.
It happened again. Squatters.
There was a person that said that they hadn't seen you in a while, so they thought you died, so we bought it.
I was in Bazixon for a while.
Well, okay,
Besides
you want to go back there?
Besides,
We
the
have a
point now.
casino.
We
have a casino that you could work at.
What can I offer you to carry me up these stairs?
Nothing. You're not coming into our
You know
apartment.
what? Let's pretend we never said anything. Just tell Farron that I'm here and that I have something from the professor and that I'd like to talk to her. Please.
Hey, Farron!
Do my elven ears pick that up?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Hey, come down here. He's not allowed.
I'm going to message Nethiola and just say, you could let him upstairs, dude. We've all had a really bad night.
Okay. You need to give me your spare key.
It doesn't work. We changed the locks.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Pick up your stuff.
You changed my locks.
Come on.
No, I messaged him.
There are locks.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
There are locks.
He didn't hear you anyway. That's what he would have said.
That's fine. Well, I mean, there are locks. Don't leave trash here. And come on.
Okay. Prolix enters the apartment, throws a pile of scrolls and tomes and papers and parchments down on the table, looks up at you, Farron, and he is as filthy and exhausted as everyone else. I bought tickets to the event a year ago. I had the best seats. What a waste of coin.
Maybe it was insured.
I saw what happened.
Dude,
What did you
come on.
see? What happened? What? A lot of things happened.
I saw your friend fall. He did not get to his feet again. I didn't stay for much longer after I saw the strike, but I don't think many people would come back from that. I'm lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
I went straight to the professor's office. He's not there. I figure he's somewhere safe until he can come back, but I don't have a key to the safe. I got what I could. There's something here for you, and he hands you a parchment that on the top of it, before you see a language of numbers and runes that you've never seen before. Looks like a clockwork sigil on the top. He said that it was very important that you had this, something about chronomancy. This comes from the archives. It's one of the oldest parchments we have on the subject. Oh, I'm sorry, my head's a little scattered.
I'm just gonna start making Prolix tea, like from his own cabinets.
Yeah. Oh yes, my favorite tea. How did you? Oh yes, that's how you know it's. He sips it. His hands are shaking. It's not safe still outside. There are many scenes in the sun that look and smell much worse than they do in the night. I personally suggest that we all stay here for the day and contact the professor on the dawn of tomorrow. Let the Hands of Ord and the Scar Bearers gain control. They always do. I will report to the official Death Mask organization of the loss as well.
Thank you.
Cool leaf, by the way, on the door frame area
Thanks.
of my wall that I didn't buy or install.
The wall. The wall.
The wall. Is she all right? And he points to your sister, who's now awake, trying to untie herself.
Can I look and see if her eyes are still red?
They are not.
Okay, I'll go over and untie her.
Well, I'm embarrassed. She sort of sits with her and hugs her knees.
It's okay. It was much better than my first red moon.
There's a awkward silence as everyone awakens and Jonathan re-enters. It's a heavy scent of elven incense from the Feywild in the air. And Prolix awkwardly dusts off his knees as if it's going to do anything. He's filthy. Well, have you all ever had... It's famous here in Dankorel. Have you ever had spice bread? I have all the ingredients. Let me make some. I'm going to make some spice bread, and we're going to enjoy it on the roof. And he goes into the kitchen and starts preparing something called spice bread for everyone.
Like coffee cake.
You'll see when it's done.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You all are able to do what you will while he bakes this cake. You can stay and eat it with him. You could ignore his warning, which is more of a personal preference to not see the aftermath of the carnage last night. He's seen enough to not go back outside and wait for the professor to return tomorrow to his office. Or at least wait until tomorrow to decide what to do. But the city is yours.
I'll go over to my sewer friend.
Spice cake. Sounds delicious.
You're not getting any.
Oh, what a shame.
You still owe me for the health potion?
Ah, yes.
I don't know why, but you seem familiar, and I don't understand because I've never seen you before.
Where are you from?
A cave?
Underdark, huh? I see. I spent a lot of time there, getting paid to do this and that and the other, and swash and buckle, as they may say, haha.
Okay.
Danky and stinky sometimes, Lots of aboleths, slimy fellas.
We've killed a
You
couple.
don't know who I am, do you?
Why would I know who you
I'm
are?
a world-famous ranger. My name is Edion. I have traveled all of the lands, slaying all of the beasts. It's what I do, it's who I am. I slay beasts, they pay me money. Very famous, just not here.
You see you? Do you know the name Edion? You didn't answer fast enough. He not famous.
Well, back in the forests where I roam, I'm well known. So I'm a poet and I didn't know it, haha.
Would I know the name?
You would.
I would?
Yes. The forests that this person claimed their stake as a famous adventurer surrounds your Pallid Grove. He's a very, very talented ranger.
I will just message that to Nethiola.
Okay, so you're known by a couple people?
Well, it also behooves a ranger to not be too well known.
You just said you're super famous and now you're going back on it?
I lied.
You just like to lie about everything.
Of course.
You need to be truthful?
What do you want to know?
Why do I know you? But don't know you.
Well, I like to do what they call boink. I travel all around the world and I find beautiful women and tieflings. I boink, I hunt, I eat, I sleep, I boink, I hunt, I get paid, I boink. I think, my son, you might be my son. But I might have a lot of...
Face.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode, everybody.
Oh.
Thank you so much for watching our stream. If you're still here, we're the Explorer's Guide to Everything. I made you cry for the past 2.5 hours. You're welcome. You can follow us on social
You're
media,
welcome.
including TikTok. We have a audio play and a podcast. Please subscribe to our Patreon if you have $5. That would be great. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.